Hey, what's up, everybody? So it's Adam with Behind the Monsters. So, first of all, before we get started on everything, I want to go on ahead and throw this out there. Demon Sniper Hot Sauce Company is the company that I own and operate. This right here is Watermelon Leviathan. Kind of hard to see because the light's kind of glaring on it. But this one is Watermelon Dragon Fruit Habanero. It's kind of neat because you can still see the dragon fruit seeds. They're ground up, but they still float in there. So yeah, you get a hot sauce that's packed with antioxidants. I have a few other ones that are really awesome on our website. Just head to demonsniper.com and yeah, check out our shop, man. It's just something that I do on the side to help homeless veterans, as I myself am a military veteran. So without further ado, let's get started, shall we? Oi! All right, so here we are again. What I want to discuss today is shallow gutturals. Now, it was kind of weird, I think, for me to take a basic guttural and just call it a basic guttural. Although that is what it is, it helps you to get yourself acquainted with your vestibular folds and utilize one of the easiest methods to activate those and use them. So the basic guttural, if I had my way about it, I would just call it the deep guttural, because it would only make sense that in this video, with me doing shallow gutturals, it all comes together full circle. Now, never mind the green screen in the background. We had some technical difficulties. It's not based off the fact that the equipment isn't good or anything like that. It's just the fact that I'm looking into green screen technology. I don't like this one. I'm getting a better one. So, moving on. Disclaimers, man. ADHD, it's a wonderful thing. So, with this shallow, at first, in the first video, whenever I did, called the basic guttural vocal lesson, I was teaching you how to go from to and then and then right. So what I'm going to do is, and most of this is just tongue placement, tongue position, you name it. What you're doing with that is you're taking the tongue, and then instead of moving it backwards, like curling it, like, or bringing it back, what we're going to do is we're going to take the tongue, and then we're going to place it sort of toward the bottom, the tip of it. And then the top of the tongue is just going to kind of sit there, but it's going to push forward just a little bit. That way you're going from to and see, the lips are just moving at that point. That's the only thing that's really changing this technique. So what that comes in handy with is you'll hear it in everything from old school bands. I'm calling them old school because I'm comparing them to the very, very recent bands lately. You have like Job for a Cowboy, and I've heard it a little bit with Black Tongue. And if you've never checked out Black Tongue, these guys tune down to like double drop D, double drop C, and they're playing 6-string guitars. It is, oh, and their vocalist is great too. But this can be utilized to give you some, I don't know, more tools in your toolbox, really. Because is a basic guttural fun? Yeah, it is. But at the same time, no one has fun if they've ridden the same ride a million times. So whenever people embark on this ride, this roller coaster here, right? You don't want it to just go and we're done. No, you want this thing. You want a ride. You want the person's brain and ears to have this proverbial explosion, right? You want and those are things that I'll teach later. As far as flexibility, we'll get into transitions too. But Now you can have a little more flexibility to your gutturals instead of just which I get it. It adds a little bit of flexibility, but whenever you go from to and then oh, and by the way, this right here, this is but the bell of the instrument. We do not tense. We do not nothing. All your energy comes from here. You have lungs. You have a diaphragm. All of this right here will make zero sense scientifically, even not just practically. Scientifically, just using this will do nothing because you have to have an air source. These guys right here. So that right there. What you're not noticing that I'm doing is I'm just keeping all this from here down just stiff and just going, see, you're probably doing that if you're running into brick walls, so to speak. It's because you're not using your body as the instrument. You're trying to use the head and the throat as the instrument. It is not the way that works. This is the instrument. We're going to look at this like this is a woodwind instrument. You know, like we're talking clarinet, saxophone. So you have instrument, then you have the reed, which is right here. These vestibular folds, they're the reed, which is that little, that little wooden piece that gets strapped to the mouthpiece. And then this is the bell. So the anatomy is off if you're comparing it exactly to that. But if you compare the pieces and you rearrange them, it makes perfect sense. Instrument, reed, instrument, reed, bell. With a saxophone or a clarinet, you usually have reed, instrument, bell. But with us, we're not built exactly like that. But I think it kind of helps sort out the way that your body needs to work in order to perform these extreme vocal techniques. So yeah, that's the one thing that I wanted to get into today was shallow gutturals. And they can get even more shallow too. You can bring the tongue all the way forward and just we can go from to and then slide that booger all the way forward. That one I don't particularly like. I like that happy medium to where I'm in the middle, and then I'm at the basic, and then I'm just way deep down in there. And that seems to help me. And what's cool is you could start off with that really deep one, move into that basic one, and then move into that mid right there, or that shallow one. Let's try it, shall we? So it could be a transitional thing, like a build up, like and then explosion with like a drop, right? So and then move on to things like a high. It's all about tongue placement. So yeah, you can utilize all three of those at one time, just in succession. The deep guttural, the basic guttural, and then this shallow guttural. So it's just, and I think that it will bode very well with what you were trying to do with your music. I hope that this was all helpful. I hope it was definitely educational. I look forward to doing more of these videos, and we are just getting started here as far as doing the YouTube side. My son and I have been doing so many videos, and we just have decided not to post them yet because we want to make sure that they're just right. We're breaking down Lorna Shore songs, and we're breaking down Shadow of Intent. We're playing with Cattle Decapitation, Vulvodynia. Oh man, there's just tons of them. There's tons of them, and I got nothing against Cannibal Corpse. Utilizing the lead singer of Cannibal Corpse's vocal technique is awesome to have in your toolbox. You do not want to constantly sound exactly like that the entire time. Every song, every record, can't do that. Like I love Meshuggah. Don't get me wrong. I love Meshuggah. I respect what they do. But when everything goes and then 30 seconds later it just does the same thing, only backwards of its pattern. After a while, you start to go next. You don't want people to do that with your music. And not hating on any of those bands or guys or anything like that. It's just you want to keep the listener going. Like this whole video, I really hope that I have captured my audience to the point to where they have absorbed everything that I've said. They now have tools that they can use in their arsenal, and they'll come back to me for more help and assistance and guidance. Despite the fact that I say a million times, go figure. I'm human. We only pretend to be monsters in this, right? But anyway, y'all have a wonderful rest of your day. Again, like and subscribe below. So far, there's this weird thing going on where it automatically shuts off the comments for the first 30 days because I choose the option that this is going to be child friendly. So they have to go through and analyze every single thing that I have said and shown in a video over the course of the next month to make perfectly sure that it is okay for kids. And I do want to make this okay for kids as well because my son loves to capture the audience of his age group and on up as well. So just bear with us on that. So far, all we have is like and subscribe, and feel free to message me. You can message me at Behind the Monsters. Everywhere you see an E, you put a 3 in it. Behind, the E right after the B. The E right after, the, turn it into a 3. And then Monsters, Behind the Monsters at gmail.com. Hit me up at any point in time. We'll see you guys next time. And just keep freaking killing it.